so focused on yourself and understanding yourself better and not questioning who you were on a daily basis, you wouldn't have time to question Doja Cat. You wouldn't have time to question B. Simone. You wouldn't have time to question all these people. You wouldn't have time to worry about Lil Nas X and his music and what he's doing behind closed doors. You wouldn't have time. You wouldn't even be able to pick your phone up and tweet anything about anybody else in their lives because you would be so enthralled in your own. Realize that. We don't even know these people, yet we have so much to say about them. Welcome back to NTheRealestWay Podcast by Marqes Smith, where we talk about so many topics in the realest way. On this podcast episode titled Questioning My Existence, we're going to discuss the numerous reasons why this podcast episode had to happen. This one specifically. And if you remember, if you haven't watched my previous podcast episodes, go back, please, okay? Go back and watch them. It'll catch you up to why everything that I do is very intentional. Sometimes it's unintentional, but it's intentional with the universe and like everything that is going on around me. It's very intentional in that way. But I talked about how it was time to rest and how I didn't know how to rest. And when I was resting, I was still working and I wasn't fully giving myself time to gather everything of what I needed to fully prepare myself for the next chapter or the next season or the next environment I had to walk into. Preparation is key, and sometimes we can't prepare as much as we want to, but it's best to do as much as you can so that when you walk into a space, you're not the reason why the environment is unhealthy. That's why we highlighted the importance of having time to rest. And in this podcast episode, you're going to understand why I mentioned it, why it specifically correlates to this podcast episode, questioning my existence. And I was on social media, and like I do all the time, like I've mentioned before, I question a lot of why I do the things that I do. It's important that we question the things that we do. We're not perfect. And the way that you seen life yesterday may not be the way that you see life today. Also, that doesn't mean that the version of yourself that seen it that way was wrong, but we are human. We need to change. There's things that are called cognitive dissonance where people literally are stuck in a mindset of not being willing to change. You can give them as much information as possible. Facts, the truth, and present it right in front of them in a nice little plate, easily digestible, and they still won't take it because they've told themselves that the way that they lived their entire life till now is the only way that anybody should live. And I'm telling you that we need to question a lot of the things that are going on around us and with ourselves. We are not perfect people. We will never be perfect people. There's no such thing as a perfect person. What do we even think that looks like? Because I promise you, it's different for every single person. You ask the person beside you, what does a perfect person look like? They wouldn't even know. They wouldn't know. And if they did have a idea of what a perfect person looks like, I bet it wouldn't be the same as your perfect person. Why? Because it's all about perception and reality. All of our perceptions are different. So our realities will not be the same. A perfect person to you may not be a perfect person to somebody else. Okay? So when I mention this is why I had to talk about what I talked about on my Instagram. I posted it on my Instagram. I posted it on my other social media platforms. I was talking about how I was stuck in a place of where I grew up and what people taught me. And I felt like I had to be that way forever. I had to question myself, and I found myself questioning my religion, my spirituality. Like the things that made sense before, they didn't even make sense to me. And now I'm more self-aware in a way to where I can handle these kinds of questions in a healthy way. Like I can see them as an issue that is going on in my mind, that is affecting me physically, and I can come to it in a healthy way, regardless of how anybody else feels. Me come to it in a healthy way and decide what I want to do in this moment of what's going on. I had to question my religion. I had to say, you know what? The way I've been thinking about this kind of stuff, the way Christianity has been going on the path that it's been going, a lot of people aren't living as what they should be living when they talk about how they want life to be for other people. I don't want to be associated with a community of people who are bringing other people down just by the way of their living that is not harming anybody. And I'm not talking about the Christians who, they're doing the thing, okay? They're helping people. They're healing people. One person that I think about all the time is Tabitha Brown. She ain't forcing her religion on nobody else. She talks about how God has done all that God has done for her. And it is beautiful. It is amazing. She has got me closer to God myself. And when I say I'm not associated with Christianity, that does not mean I do not believe in God. But there's other ways to go about it. I don't want to be associated with it anymore. It's becoming a place that is causing not just America, but the rest of the world to crumble. The ideologies that we have in our religion has to be everybody's ideology. We have to think the exact same way. We have to do the exact same thing. And things that should be considered normal, things that people should just be able to do by living and breathing, by just being people, it's somehow up to the question of let's burn down buildings and let's get rid of history. Let's erase history about the things that have happened to people. That's not fair. So when we talk about why are people questioning their existence, it's been on the foundation of our entire country, of our entire lives. We got no choice but to question our existence, especially when there's people around us questioning who they are, and then in doing that, questioning other people. As soon as you get born, you have to question so many things. And let's not talk about the places where people are dying every single day. As soon as they wake up, they're literally in war area. There is literally violence. As soon as babies open their eyes, they are born into violence and death and chaos. And you think, what do you think that means for them? How do you think that looks for those people? When we say we're questioning our existence of why we're here, what are we doing? I've never been afraid to question myself, what I believe in. There are moments when I would stay fortified in my mind about, no, I can't change this. I have to solidify everything in this mindset right here. There's no other way. I have to do that. But not anymore. And I'm not saying everything. Everything has to be questioned, right? You shouldn't have to question if you love somebody. That should not be a question. There's some things that don't need to be questioned. There's no reason to ask it. Sometimes you just know. But there's things that happen in this world that we have to talk about. We have to. Recently, and this has been my entire life, but recently I've gotten to a point to where I'm really getting tired of it. Me trying to find a way into other people's lives and have some kind of importance in their life, in my life. Them validating me is me validating myself. Oh, I made them happy. I made them laugh. I made them smile. Now I can give myself a pat on the back because I did something amazing, right? Oh, I got rewarded. I've lived my entire life working and doing things for other people. And it has destroyed me. It has destroyed a version of me that will never come back. That version of me back then, it's gone. It sunk a long time ago. It sunk a long time ago. And again, I recently got into therapy. I found myself questioning a lot more about who I was and what was being brought into my life and because the crazy thing is sometimes we deal with so much, we don't realize how traumatic or how serious these things were because we're living in the moment and nobody's telling us, hey, Smith, what happened to you a couple years ago is fucked up. It's not until you get to therapy and you're actually speaking these things out loud verbally and you realize that your life was messed up. I mean, when I started listening to myself, I'm like, why did I think this was okay? My entire life, why did I think this person treated me how they treated me? I've been in moments where I was isolated from my peers. I had to be separate and I had to be this unmovable yet heavy driven person pushing forward the agenda that they wanted me to have my entire life. And I didn't really get to have a childhood. I didn't really get to be happy. Not that I remember. And when I had consciousness, when I was literally had the choices, I still was forcing myself to work. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to matter to these people. Because why else would I be here? Why else would I literally be alive if it wasn't to have some kind of validation from other people? But there's no validation from other people that will ever make you happy, that will fulfill you for the rest of your life. There's no validation. It comes from you. And anybody who is brought into this world, anybody who has opened their eyes in the morning, you matter. You don't have to achieve this amazing feat to matter. The Sha'Carri Richardsons or the Coco Gauffs or the Taraji P. Hensons, the Viola Davises, the Cardi B's, the Nicki Minaj's, okay? You don't have to have this crazy life feat to matter. Yes, these things, they can be amazing and they can fulfill you. You can go for a purpose in life that is amazing. But you don't have to be no B. Simone, okay? Because you're not B. Simone. And you don't know what it took for her to get to where she is. And we sit here and we question our existence. So then we question, how is this person doing this? And how is this person to have that? And why am I not good enough? And why is that this? You can't do that. You can't allow what you see from other people to affect who you are right now. Your time is not their time. Your blessings are not their blessings. And that's vice versa. There was a season of my life where I was like, you know what? I need to be like B. Simone. I need to have everything she has. I need to do exactly what she does. But I'm not B. Simone. I'm Marqes. I'm me. And my validation is not placed on other people seeing my worth, comparing me to other people. My validation is not placed there. It is so important that you understand. And this is where the self-work comes from. When you can really realize who you are. You don't got to wake up and do this crazy accomplishment to matter. You don't have to get awards to matter. I have been a lot more, frustrated with society and social media, especially when I see so many people achieving a lot. And it's not in a way to where they're working so hard to feel validated, but to validate other people, to create art that can help people. And yet there is so much conflict. There was a situation that happened, and I'm not fully educated on the situation, but I will say what I feel like I should say, my advice to other people, so that they can live a healthy and not worried about everybody else's lives. Doja Cat, right? A lot of people, when they hear her name, they're like, this Satan ass lady. Why is she doing what she's doing? Why is she making this devilish music? Why she got that back on her back, on that tattoo? Okay? Why is she doing this and why is she doing that? And then we find ourselves so focused, but Doja Cat never said anything about being a Satanist. Doja Cat never said anything about worshiping the devil, right? And even if she did, that's none of our fucking business. It doesn't matter. It's nothing to do with us. It's not our problem. It's not our business. Okay? She ain't harming nobody, even if she was, but she ain't. But we look at people and we question our existence, and then we, in turn, are questioning other people. You don't know nothing about Doja Cat. You don't know who she is behind closed doors. You haven't even met the lady. And you sitting here judging her because you don't know. And this is how you know. You can just look at people, especially when you get to that place of, okay, I'm working on myself. So now I can see other people and what's going on better. If you weren't so focused on yourself and understanding yourself better and not questioning who you were on a daily basis, you wouldn't have time to question Doja Cat. You wouldn't have time to question B. Simone. You wouldn't have time to question all these people. You wouldn't have time to worry about Lil Nas X and his music and what he's doing behind closed doors. You wouldn't have time. You wouldn't even be able to pick your phone up and tweet anything about anybody else in their lives because you would be so enthralled in your own. Realize that. We don't even know these people, yet we have so much to say about them. We hold these people that are in these social media positions to this high level of you gotta be perfect all the time, yet we look at our own lives and we're not perfect. You questioning your existence and not even taking the time to present the action that comes after it, right? You're questioning your existence, but then there's confusion, there's anger, there's sadness. So now you're projecting it to other people. Oh, I can't understand who I am. So the fact that you can be comfortable in doing what you're doing, that I feel like I gotta just destroy who you are as a person. I gotta attack you, call you names. I gotta destroy everything that you created. So it's really important. Why I had to question my existence? Because I didn't want to go outside the world and hurt other people. I didn't want to be a reason why I hurt other people. That's why I went to therapy. It was recent time too that really, really forced me to come to this point of this conversation, to have this conversation. Why was I allowing these people to treat me how they treated me all the time? And I told myself I had boundaries, but they weren't boundaries in these areas that needed to have boundaries. Maybe I never had boundaries where I should have, because people will continually try to cross them. Yet for some reason, they've always crossed mine. So now I'm taking the time to understand myself a lot more and really question and ask myself, what matters to me? What do I want to allow in my life? And what should happen in my life? What shouldn't and what should? You can't talk to me like that. I don't talk to you like that. And even though I may be, more, I guess, aggressive in my personality than other people, my intentions are good. And it's fine if you don't understand who I am, right? You can say, Smith, I don't like how you're talking to me. I will apologize and I will say, that is not my intention. Either we can move forward in a healthy way and, try to not hurt each other's feelings again, or we can just remove ourselves from each other's lives. But I just never understood why there was a miscommunication in the relationship, yet there was no change. And even for myself too. Miserable, unhappy, even in work relationships. I don't even feel like it's so exhausting. Question, why are you in my life? What is this person bringing to my life that I'm not bringing to my life myself? And I promise you, if you think about, if I'm already giving myself grief, and if I'm already bringing myself down, why in the hell would I want somebody else to come into my life and add to that? If anything, you need to have some sunshine. You need to shine some light on the issue. Don't bring more darkness. Jesus. There's darkness all around us every day, every second. You go on social media, you look outside, you're going to find some darkness if you're looking for it. But let's look for the light too, because there's light everywhere. And that's why I got so frustrated when I seen people creating light for other people who are helping other people. And then for some reason, they're the evil ones. They're the monsters. They're the devils. They're the ones causing chaos in the world. And they're the reason why the world is the way it is right now. But is it really them? Or is it you forcing them to conform to the lifestyle that you think that they should be, who you think they should be, who you think they are? Yeah, you go home and you have so much, you don't even want to handle your issues. I mean, you have bags and bags full of luggage of just so much trauma, so much negative energy under your bed, in your closet. You don't open those, you don't look under your bed. You don't open your closet to look at that. You walk right past it every morning and you can feel it right there. And you got some on your back too. You carrying it around. It's on your shoulders. It's on your feet. You dragging it. Okay? And then you walking around miserable and now you're projecting. You're projecting your own life onto other people. Does that make sense? Everything that you do, who you are, is a direct reflection of the world that you live in. If your life is full of chaos, I promise you, the environment that you're going to be in is going to be full of chaos too. No matter how structured it is, you're causing chaos. And there's nothing wrong with questioning yourself and having a crisis. There's nothing wrong with that. Crises are funny. They're amazing. There are things that are going to get you to the next part of your life. It's life. Literally, crisis is life. When you go through these stressful moments, they're there to change you, to make you into a different version of yourself. Question it. Question everything. Okay? Why is my country allowing so many deaths? Why is the world allowing so many people to die, to be starved, to be raped, to be killed, to suffer? Why? And what am I doing to contribute to that? I've had moments when I slipped up, when I was the reason why a lot of these things happen too. Because we sit here and we don't realize our impact. We don't realize how much we are able to change the world. Oh, my little couple of dollars going to Starbucks and the McDonald's and all these other places, it ain't affecting the economy and the world and what's going on, but it is. Imagine if everybody decided to do what you're doing. Those couples of dollars they'll start adding up. Okay? That money adds up. It does. $6 in the span of some years and some months from how many people in America alone? Are you crazy? How much that would be? Right? You matter. Your existence matters. Who you are, it matters. Even the people who are hurting people, that you need to go through that. I mean, it's not right that you hurt other people in the process, but there is something, you're screaming out in pain. You need help, right? And if you can't get it the way that a lot of people get it, you get it another way. And I'm not talking about the superficial, the easy ways that you can numb the pain. I'm talking about getting real help, asking the people around you to help you. Hell, I'll help you. Just gotta let me know. You gotta text me what's going on in your day. What can I do to help you? You need somebody to talk to? I'm here. I'm here. question it, okay? You gotta question it. You gotta question it. So we've reached the end of this podcast. I had something to say. And I'm trying to remember what it was. I know that I have like 25 more days in Korea. I'll be on to America again on another journey through life. I don't know what to expect, but it's coming. It's moving. Yeah, I'm going to remain consistent with my podcast episodes 100%. 100% I will be. I'm going to do a batch load of podcasts. Like I'm going to create a batch of podcast episodes and have them scheduled out. So when I don't have my necessary equipment because it's getting moved and it's not going to be with me, I'm going to still be able to create these podcasts and continue to change the world one step at a time, one day at a time, one person at a time. I'm going to do that. There's a version of myself deep down right now who just wants to make it, wants to work hard to get all the blessings and successes that I ever wanted. But when I look back at my life, I truly want it to be fulfilling, that I'm happy living in it, being in it. I don't want to look back at my life and see only work. I want to see happiness and joy. I want to see that too. So I implore anybody who is pursuing a life of the work culture to stop and question that too. What are the things that really matter to me, and should this thing really matter to me as much as it should, or as much as it is? And like I say at the end of every podcast episode, I give thanks to the utmost, to the highest power God who is in all of us. I am thankful for my friends and my family. I am truly, truly grateful. This is NTheRealestWay Podcast. Out.